Are you tired of the constant noise, the endless chatter, the endless scroll of notifications that pull you in 10 different directions? Modern life feels like we are trapped in a room with hundreds of voices speaking all at once, while our own inner voice is drowned out. But here's the paradox. The one thing we are missing, the medicine we desperately need, is not more, but less. Not more information, not more productivity hacks, but the simple, overlooked power of silence. Silence is not empty. It is full of answers. In this video, we'll explore the science of silence and meditation, how neuroscience shows silence rewires the brain, quiet transforms stress into clarity, and most importantly, how you can use it in daily life. And midway, I'll share a powerful story, a story of a man who discovered that silence wasn't the absence of sound, but the presence of truth, and how it reshaped his destiny. Stay tuned for that. We live in the noisiest period of human history. Not just city traffic, not just honking horns and construction drills, but the invisible noise of digital life. The average person checks their phone over 300 times a day. Notifications constantly spike dopamine, creating micro-stress. Studies after 2020 show that digital multitasking increases cortisol, the primary stress hormone, while reducing our ability to focus deeply. The overstimulation epidemic doesn't just make us tired. It reshapes our nervous system into fight or flight mode. That's why silence is not just luxury, it is survival. Think about it. When was the last time you sat in complete silence without music, without a podcast, without Netflix humming in the background? Neuroscience has a fascinating term, the default mode network, DMN. This is the brain system active when you're daydreaming, recalling the past, or imagining the future. Too much noise overstimulates the DMN, leading to rumination, anxiety, and restlessness. Silence, on the other hand, quiets this network, rebalancing the brain. Recent research after 2020 from institutes like Stanford and University of Regensburg shows that even 2 minutes of deep silence significantly lowers neural activity in stress circuits. Brainwave studies reveal that in silence, we naturally enter alpha and theta rhythms, states linked to creativity, learning, and emotional healing. That's why silence feels like mentally exhaling. The story, The Monk's Gift of Silence. Let me tell you a story. There was once a young man named Arav. He lived in a busy city, working a high-pressure job in finance. His days were filled with Zoom calls, ringing phones, deadlines. Yet, no matter how much he achieved, he felt an emptiness gnawing inside. One day, burnt out and desperate, he decided to take a short trip to the mountains. There, he met an old monk sitting quietly by a stream. Curious, Arav asked, "Tell me the secret of peace. How do I silence this storm inside?" The monk smiled and handed him a bowl full of water. "Stir this water," he said. Arav obeyed. The water became cloudy, murky. "Now," the monk said, "hold the bowl still." At first, Arav waited impatiently. After a few minutes, he noticed the mud settling at the bottom. The water became clear again. The monk looked at him and said, "You are the bowl. Your thoughts are the mud. The more you stir with noise and activity, the cloudier you feel. But in stillness, clarity returns by itself." That day, Arav didn't receive a philosophical lecture. He received an experience. He sat by the stream in silence, minutes stretching into hours. For the first time in years, he felt his heartbeat growing slow, his breath at ease. That moment of silence stayed with him. When Arav returned to the city, he hadn't left the noise of the world, but he carried within him a new sanctuary. Silence wasn't something outside him. It was within all along. Science confirms what Arav discovered. Silence lowers blood pressure, reduces adrenaline spikes, and even strengthens the hippocampus, the part of the brain linked to memory and learning. A groundbreaking 2021 study found that just 2 hours of silence daily triggered the production of new brain cells in animals. Creativity skyrockets when we immerse in quiet. Einstein himself used quiet walks as his laboratory of thought. Even a quiet cup of tea without your phone can give your nervous system a mini vacation. So how do you start? You don't need to clear your mind or meditate for hours. Begin small. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. As thoughts appear, watch them like clouds drifting by. Don't fight them. Start with just 2 minutes a day. Slowly extend. Remember, meditation is not about escaping thoughts. It is about befriending silence amid them. Silence isn't a mountain trip. It's a choice you make daily. Try these strategies. Morning silence. Begin the day with 5 minutes of stillness before touching your phone. Silent commute. If you travel, replace the playlist once in a while with quiet observation. Digital detox moments. Carve no notification zones in your evening. The reward? Greater focus, reduced stress, deeper sleep, and a quiet strength that no external noise can shake. Silence, dear friend, is not the absence of life. It is the heartbeat of life. So ask yourself, will you continue letting the noise of the world drown your inner self? Or will you dare to embrace the science of silence?